know if I am ready.
Are you ready?
I don't know.
You're ready.
Get ready.
You're always
Get
ready.
ready. We're
Guess I'm
on.
ready, guys.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this Facebook Live. It is Tuesday morning. What is it, the 17th of January?
Yes, it is.
All righty. I'm Scott Ingen.
Lisa Vidot.
I'm Dillon Vogt.
All right.
I never say my name, so I think it threw both of them out.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know where to go from here. We're in uncharted territory. Well, let's talk about where you can find this Facebook Live. Every morning we usually go live between 8:30 or so. You can also listen to the live stream later through the InForum YouTube channel or on your favorite podcast platforms. Just a great way to get the news, your local updates on everything we talked about on First News, as well as updates from the night before and sports and all that kind of good stuff. You can visit inforum.com/podcast and just look for that InForum Minute.
We have some breaking news we're going to get to in just a minute involving a manhunt for a murder suspect. So it's a big story. Don't go anywhere. But really, weather is the big story today as well, because we have that fresh snow and now road conditions no good. So can you kind of give us an update as to what we're going to see today and what's happening?
Yeah, so we saw the freezing drizzle yesterday morning in parts of the Northern Valley, Grand Forks now, so quite a bit throughout the day yesterday. So a lot of things are slippery. And there's also been 3 to 4 inches of snow in some isolated areas in southeastern North Dakota. Not everybody saw that. Here in Fargo, we saw officially yesterday 7/10 of an inch of snow, which is our total for the whole month of January, believe it or not. So it's been a very quiet January. For Fargo at least. But this snow is moving on out as it go throughout the rest of the day. Be breezy out of the north, 10 to 20 miles an hour, maybe up to 25. That'll be enough to blow any of this fresh snow around and also keep those roads, if they're plugged up now, or even just those little finger drifts across the road, keep them covered, or at least kind of in the way. So temperatures right now are in the upper teens, and we'll stay in the upper teens through the day today. We will slowly fall.
Okay.
But it won't be like a big cool down. We're not talking single digits, just temperatures in the teens, which is pretty average, but with that wind, it has a little bite to it.
Yes, it does.
And
So
as we deal with some of that up here, you talked about something interesting this morning down in Iowa. They actually dealt with a tornado over
yeah,
there.
that's very uncommon. In fact, since 1986, as far back as the record books go in Iowa at least, there has never been a tornado warning issued in the month of January in the state of Iowa.
That's crazy.
That was broken yesterday by a tornado briefly touched down. Didn't look like to be a super strong tornado, but nonetheless a tornado in January in Iowa, you don't ever see that.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is
It's just
crazy, yes.
crazy.
And now that same spot, expecting snow by the end of the week. Like could get up 6 to 12 inches of snow.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we get a couple of flurries. So it's kind of a crazy, unforeseen thing we've never really talked about. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Anyways, throughout the rest of the week here, we'll stay at cool, average temperatures in the upper teens. Mornings, single digits, nothing out of the ordinary for January. Remember, I said this yesterday, I'll say it again. This is climatologically the coldest week of the year.
Okay.
Also, our sunset, we'll talk about this tomorrow. I think we're going to talk about this tomorrow. We'll sneak peek. But our sunsets are past 5 o'clock, and almost every day we're gaining about a minute.
I like that.
At the end of that.
I like
So
that.
by the end of the, we're getting there. We're getting there,
That's
okay?
good stuff.
Cool.
Okay, I like that. Good tease.
All right,
Make
Dillon.
up with us tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Lisa, do you want to go with the
Yeah,
breaking
okay,
news
we
this
kind of
morning?
go back and forth. There's a lot of new details that are coming in just this morning. Breaking story. A manhunt is underway right now. Wahpeton police are looking for what they're now calling a murder suspect. They have classified it as a homicide. Came in last night. I'll give you the few details that we do know at this point. Wahpeton police were called out to a shooting. Kind of turned out to be a pretty big crime scene, actually, because a shooting happened at the intersection of 11th Street North and Loy Avenue in Wahpeton. Police are telling us that a suspect shot at a car several times. The car was hit. We're also hearing at least one bullet also hit a nearby house. The car kept going for a couple of blocks. It sounds like eventually it stopped in the area near the Wahpeton High School. I believe it's the high school elementary, right close to the hockey arena in town as well, which of course, if you know Wahpeton, also very close to the NDSCS campus. The campus was actually put into lockdown for 2 hours last night, but the shooting, the intersection, the large area, the houses, the campuses being put into lockdown was a very large scene. We do know at that point then the driver of the car that was shot at was taken to the hospital, and that person did die. That's where now the new information this morning, it has been classified as a homicide. A source tells WDAY news reporter Matt Henson the victim was shot 6 to 8 times. Of course, Matt Henson was the only news team on the scene of this breaking story last night.
Yeah, we had really good video of the scene and kind of what the investigation looked like and that kind of thing. Like you said, a big police presence there. A scary situation for small
so many
town.
people.
And then, so police, they have not released like a motive exactly for this thing yet, but we have learned that the person that is the suspect is known to police previously through the drug trade. So, don't want to, speak too soon, but that's something they told us, which is interesting in this whole thing. That suspect is described as being 6 foot 2 inches tall. He was wearing jeans and a black hoodie and a black mask at the time of the crime. Investigators are asking people in that area to make sure you're checking your home security systems, your cameras, that kind of thing, to see if there's anything that could point them in a direction of who this might be that's responsible. Of course, we're going to continue to track the search for the suspect. You can stick with us for all the updates. Once we know if someone's in custody or they have someone in mind specifically, we'll let you know, of course.
Yeah, team coverage on this story. I'm sure throughout the day it's a big story. A lot of people are looking for answers in this, for sure.
Yep.
Also right now, 6 people are in the hospital after an SUV rear-ended an ambulance that had stopped and was actually treating patients at the scene of an accident near Edmore, North Dakota. Emergency crews were taking care of a Florida woman who was hurt in a rollover crash. It happened on Highway 1, which was ice-covered yesterday morning. The ambulance, as we said, was stopped, responding partially in the driving lane. That's when the ambulance was hit by 89-year-old driver Leonard Klein of Langdon. Klein also suffered serious injuries, as did one of the ambulance crew members who was inside working and helping another patient. 2 other members of the ambulance crew suffered minor injuries. Everyone had to be taken to the hospital to be treated. We do know the ambulance driver was not hurt, which is probably, a good thing to get everybody then off to the hospital. I'm sure it was a big response at the time, though.
Yeah, kind of just a sad situation there where they're treating someone that already had a rollover crash. Someone rear-ends that, and likely that the ice and stuff played a factor in the whole thing. All right, we're also working to learn if anyone was seriously hurt after icy roads and those strong winds caused a vehicle to lose control just outside of Moorhead. We've got reports of several different accidents and vehicles going off the roads in that area. This specifically, viewers sent us in pictures just east of Moorhead where a driver had lost control of their vehicle. The vehicle ended up on its side, and we haven't heard any official word if anyone was hurt in that accident yet. But looked like it potentially could have been something where someone got hurt. So those roads still slick this morning. So
a travel alert was in place, at least I believe it still is for Cass County. So, but yeah, a mix of snow covered, ice covered. Just a mess out there, so be careful. Here's a heads up for drivers, not necessarily icy road related. If you're going to be driving through Moorhead, you might need to be aware of this lane closure. It's going to be taking place on 8th Street South. The northbound lane will be closed to drivers from Main Avenue to 12th Avenue South. It's going to be in place so crews can work along the East Boulevard for tree pruning. That work should be finished by sometime tomorrow, but of course a busy area, so it will affect your drive.
Let's transition a little bit to the State House, where a new bill that North Dakota might be, legislators are pushing through right now potentially, could be following Canada's lead when it comes to cutting prescription drug prices, which is kind of interesting. Under the proposal, the Public Employees Retirement System would identify the 25 most costly prescription medications for its members. Then the State Insurance Commissioner would reference those prices for the drugs in 4 Canadian provinces to set caps on what local pharmacies could actually be charged for supplying these medications. Now, the bill would also create penalties for drug manufacturers that pull their products to avoid the price limiting program. And now, if this bill passes, which is why I said it would be kind of unique, it would be the first of its kind in the U.S., kind of following, I guess, what Canadians do in their country with the health system. So that's kind of interesting.
It is interesting.
See what happens with that.
And Dillon talked about this a little bit at the beginning of our podcast, but there's going to be a lot of information that's going to come out of Iowa today, because we do know the National Weather Service sending out their inspectors to kind of, I guess they rate it.
Yeah.
We're talking about a tornado.
Yeah, they survey the area and see what exactly happened, all that kind of stuff.
So what we do know is that the tornado crossed I-80 near Williamsburg, Iowa. We had some pretty incredible video actually this morning. We know multiple vehicles and semis were actually blown off the interstate in that area. Luckily, no injuries were reported, but I'm definitely expecting a lot more information as to, what happened. I mean, Dillon was talking about it, but it's crazy. Yeah, a tornado in January in Iowa.
Scary.
So, scary stuff.
All right, Disney fans. Disney Plus has dropped the official trailer for the 3rd season of The Mandalorian. It takes place after the events of the series The Book of Boba Fett. Pedro Pascal returns in the title role of The Mandalorian in the series. And for the new season, the reunited Mandalorian and Grogu, who is, Baby Yoda, known by fans, even though he's not technically Yoda, but everyone says that because he's kind of fun and cute and all that kind of thing. They're going to head off on a new adventure for season 3, and you can start watching it March 1st when it streams on Disney Plus for the first time. And I know Jared's over there, but he said he's a fan of The Mandalorian, so he's excited for it.
We got a real review from him, someone who's actually a big fan. So yeah. Thumbs up from Jared.
Should be good.
Did you stay up and watch football last night?
I stayed up till about the second quarter. Then I figured I better get to bed. But Dallas kind of took it to Tampa Bay. Who knows if it's going to be Tom Brady's last
I know.
game?
I
We
was
might not
rooting
see him
for
again.
Tom Brady. But then it's fun to play the speculation game. Will he be done, or where will he go?
Yeah, who knows? Early indications are saying Las Vegas or San Francisco. So see what happens. He's 45 years old now. So.
Super old in football years. I know every time Dillon keeps saying he's so old. Sorry, Dillon, I'm going to throw you under the bus on that one, but
I'm going to no comment.
no comment.
Double my age.
Double his age.
So, we'll see what
Anyway,
happens.
I don't think it's the end for Tom Brady, but I was rooting for him.
It's hard to say it is because he still wants to win, and he probably still wants to play. So if a team's willing to take him and they're a team that he can see as making a playoff run, why not? Give it a shot.
Okay, well, I'm sure that Dom Izzo is going to be talking about that game today and so much more. Remember, you can catch Hot Mic with Dom Izzo every weekday morning, 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra, also InForum.com.
Yeah, and don't forget, before we let you go this morning, about that deal we got going on for InForum.com subscriptions. You can get an all-access pass for just 99 cents a month for your first 3 months.
And remember, we'll be back with another newscast starting at 11. Of course, Dillon's going to be tracking, that blowing and drifting snow he's talking about, the road conditions, and update. And Becky will be back in, of course, with all of your top headlines for 11 a.m. And again, this afternoon, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. And tomorrow morning, we'll be back from 5 to 7 on First News.
That's right. Have a good day, folks.